How's it, aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. The mission of the Molokaʻi Land Trust is to protect and restore the land, natural, and cultural resources of Molokaʻi. Here to tell us more is Butch, Haase, the executive director. As we know, Molokaʻi is one of one. Very happy to have you.
Aloha, brother. Thank you.
Fantastic. So, Butch, let's get into it. For people who aren't familiar with the work you guys currently do, tell us about Molokaʻi Land Trust, specifically the areas you guys are focusing on.
Right on. So the organization's been in existence since 2006, and since 2008, we've really been working with staff on the land and getting going with our restoration activities. So the Mokio Preserve is our primary place of activity. 1,769 acres along the north shore of Molokaʻi. It's sandwiched out, for those people who are familiar with Molokaʻi, it's sandwiched between Mo'omomi and Elio Point. And so we've got a dune site out there. We do dune restoration. You can see in the video footage here, we do a lot of work with seabirds out there. And
what's happening kind of currently right now?
Okay, so so what we're doing is we go ahead and we band the seabirds so that we can track their activities and their movements and to get a better idea about how the wildlife is, evolving, establishing itself, and then relating to other areas in the vicinity and around the state.
Also, as well, the site was federally designated a critical habitat back in 2016.
That's correct.
Due to things that were happening.
Yeah, so the area harbors an amazing amount of wildlife and endangered species out there. And so the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service recognized that in 2016 and designated it as critical habitat. And so for us, that's really kind of exciting, because what that means is that we're able then to apply for and receive funding for restoration of all of these unique species that are out in that area and preserve that amazing cultural and natural legacy of the site.
In addition to the work taking place right now, we do know a completion of a new 1.1-mile predator-proof fence. So what is that preventing from happening?
Okay, so one of the biggest, we have a huge loss of both forest birds and seabirds in Hawaii, and it's our primary wildlife. And the big factor that is impacting that is predators, cats, rats, mongoose, and other species that have been introduced that predate on those birds and take them out. So this new fence is designed to keep out all of those predators and create a safe haven for these ground nesting seabird species to come back and nest and proliferate. And the key to these, the reason that we're doing all of this is that the seabird species occupied everything from Mauka to Makai before humans showed up. And they were the key transport vector for nutrients, fertilizer, for the terrestrial systems, and then the marine systems adjacent to them. So when we lost all those seabirds, we lost all the fertilizing. And as such, then our systems become stressed. And so when we have stressors like droughts, or heat waves, the systems can't cope and survive as well. And so by restoring the wildlife component through the seabirds, we're restoring that nutrient transport system from the sea to the land, back to the sea. And as such, it fertilizes the whole system. And the most important thing for folks who like to take advantage of the marine resources, let's say, is that those nutrients fertilize the nearshore marine area, increasing density and diversity of species for planktons, corals, fishes, and lemur.
One of the terms we hear constantly on the show as well is this idea of regenerative tourism, and just thinking about the ways that people come into these places that we care a lot about. How rewarding has this been for you? You mentioned as well some people interact with this place that are born and raised Molokaʻi that maybe are seeing things for the very first time. Yeah,
so these lands, especially out at Mokio that we're working on, were originally Molokaʻi Ranch lands, and for over 100 years, only Molokaʻi Ranch employees had access to these lands. And so that meant that if you were born and raised on the island and didn't have a connection to the ranch, you never got access to these places. And so since the Land Trust has opened up these lands, we've opened up access for the community as well as visitors.
There we go. Now we got Keiki on the Aina.
Yeah, there we go. We do a lot with service learning programs with the schools. Auntie Penny Martin right there from Papahana Kualoa. She's a key partner with us for helping work with this cultural and natural education out there with all the
Very
students.
important. And what we're looking at right now is visuals filled with people, but we need more. It's a kako effort. How do people continue to support? Like, do we need more volunteers? How can people?
Okay, so we can't do this without volunteer help. The work is too big. And so if you're interested in coming and volunteering with us, we'd love to bring you out. We have an amazing, talented staff who are super engaging. And so go to our website, and there's a contact spot on the website where you can reach out to volunteer. And we'd be happy to host you. If you're coming to the island to visit, please reach out and consider coming for a day. If you can't make it all the way out to the preserve, we have a nursery. You can help us do some nursery work, propagating plants. We'd just love to have that help.
Absolutely. You know, our correspondent, Natalie Duran, we've seen her in Molokaʻi many times. I think it's time the whole High Now Daily team come out to Molokaʻi Land Trust and get our hands in the dirt. What you say?
You great. Well, come on down right now.
That's the invitation right there. We're going to head to break right now. We're going to talk about it throughout the commercial. You're watching High Now. Come on back.
Yeah. Mahalo.
Yeah. We're going to come up, you know.
Yeah.
Natalie's